We're going to make a beautiful fall wreath today, and we're going to use an 18-inch grapevine. So we're going to also work in some of these pre-mixed sprays, and these are one of my all-time favorites because they have so much texture and diversity amongst one spray. So we're actually going to keep these in their entirety, but the first thing we're going to need to do is cut off the stems. And as you can tell, there's a lot of wires there, so you do have to exert a little bit of force, but once you get that done, we can come back in with some zip ties to secure it. So these pre-made sprays are so easy because all it takes is a few of them to create a beautiful floral wreath. Snip off your zip ties. So we placed one down below. Since this is a rather large and a little bit heavy, we're going to come back in with another one. So I'm just feeding it through the grapevine, making sure we have some substance behind it. And then snip it off. And you can fluff at the same time, or you can do what we're going to do, which is to fluff it once we secure all of them. So we've worked in one so far, and an 18-inch grapevine, once you work in all of your products, it can really create for a large wreath. So this in total is going to be about 26 inches across, and we're just coming back in with our next piece. And instant gratification here, you guys. By working in these sprays, it just takes it to the next level without having to work in every single product individually. So that one actually stuck really nicely with just one zip tie. And look at how full it's looking. So one thing I've noticed with designing for fall is a lot of designers and hobbyists get a little too comfortable with using too many colors. So the blessing about fall is that there's so many different colors to choose from, but it also at the same time can be a curse. So by working with these pre-made sprays, you already have a bunch of different shades, but it's not overdone. So this spray, we're just going to bend a little bit, lift up, and work behind. And tighten that zip tie really tight and snip it off. Also, by doing the zip ties the way I've shown you today, it prevents the end being on the back side of the wreath, which can cause some damage. They can be really sharp depending on how you cut them. So at least this way we pose no risk of scratching our door, ourselves, or our friends and family. So now that we have all of our product in place, we can begin fluffing. And as I mentioned earlier, each one of these pieces is wired. So you can pull out the bittersweet, adjust the acorns, shift around the pine cones, get it to your liking. And I love how full this looks. So very simple to do. Now let's hang it up and show you the finished reveal. And here is the finished wreath, you guys. I absolutely love the way it turned out, and it was so incredibly easy to put together. We used 5 of those pre-made sprays, along with some zip ties and that 18-inch grapevine, and that is it. And look at all of the colors and textures that came from those sprays. We have the acorns, the pine cones, the bittersweet, the oak leaves, and all of the colors to match. So thank you all so much for watching. This is Nick Kretikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and you're watching me on Hometalk. Bye, everyone. Today we're going to be making an ombre kind of rainbow themed Christmas wreath. So this is going to be very whimsical, and as you can see, we have a very cool color palette. So I opened up 2 packs of the blue. So each color is going to run you, give or take $8. So not the cheapest project, but I think the effect is going to be really cool in the end. So all I'm doing is I'm taking these ornaments, I'm taking them over to my glue skillet, dipping the tops in the glue. Make sure to use enough hot glue to keep everything in place. And just peppering these ornaments throughout. So we don't have to have them touching, unless that's the effect you're going for. But I do want these to be rather close together. That way you can kind of see the well-defined colors, but they don't have to be touching. So these also have some white ornaments with little blue specks on them, which are really pretty as well. So again, just dip and work into your frame. Now it's time to work on our next color, which is more of kind of like a teal, or an icy blue is what I like to call it. And notice that I'm taking a few of them and then kind of bringing them with the other blue. So we have that cobalt, or sort of a navy as well. And now we're bringing this icy blue, and then followed by this, we're going to bring in another blue, which is really pretty. So we started heavy with the other blue, because we had 2 packs of each, but I think we can get away with 1 pack of each, which works in our favor because we're not going to have to spend as much money. So it's time for our greenish blue. This is, a beautiful mint green, but I think this is a nice transition from this color to the icy blue to the kind of cobalt navy blue. So we're creating that ombre rainbow effect. I think it's working really nicely so far. So these also have some white ornaments, but they're slightly off-white. So now it's time to work in the gold, so we'll just continue dipping these in. So these also came in a separate pack. So it looks like in the end we are going to be working with a total of 6 colors. So not exactly the rainbow, but you get that rainbow ombre effect. And if you have better luck finding ornaments, you can always choose whatever you want. You can also just do different shades of the same color. So what I think would be cool is if you are a fan of blue, for winter, instead of a Christmas wreath, you could do a generic blue wreath and go from the different shades of blue. There's a couple different other blues that they have in stock, and just keep switching it out or alternating the colors. So the choice is up to you. If you like pink, you could do that rose gold color we're going to be working with next, which is really pretty. You can be working with, whatever color. You could also do this, for other seasons and holidays. So instead of ornaments, you can work in a bunch of mini Easter eggs that you pick up from the dollar store, Target, Walmart, you name it, they got it. You can also do it for, anything patriotic, 4th of July. You can, instead of do ornaments, you could just do little stars. So you can apply this technique however and wherever you would like and kind of make it your own. So let's work on our final few ornaments of the gold. We also want to make sure to transition that from the teal. So now it's time to come back in with that pretty pink, and as you can see, look at all of the different textures and colors and sizes within that box. So $4 is not a bad price for that many, unique little ornaments, especially since they're such great quality. So we'll just start filling in. And what I think would be a cool technique is to do what we're doing here to a Christmas tree. So you can actually pick up mini Christmas trees from our website. You can also get them from Walmart and other stores, and really have fun with it. Make it your own. Start with one color on the surface and then slowly work your way to the next color. We can also bring some of those up towards the gold. That way we have that ombre transition. Another good tip I can give you guys is if you have a certain amount of ornaments or a certain amount of colors that you want to work in, always kind of think of your wreath as quadrants. So we often talk about that in our videos. If you have 4 different colors, ration off a quarter of the wreath to make sure that you're not kind of overdoing it on one side and then you're going to kind of cut off on the other. So always make sure you have enough to kind of stretch throughout the entire design. So here we have the purple, and we'll just continue with these. And I love that each box comes with one of these, or a couple of these actually, which is just like a snowy flocked ornament, but then it has the matching glitter. So this one has purple, the other one has blue, and each one has its own color. So it just makes it, tie together all that better. So we're going to take these first and just pepper them in. Always take a few extras and work them with the existing color that's before it. Take another one there, and our final one here. So that is going to complete this wreath. Now let me hang it up and show you guys the final reveal. But I do recommend leaving it flat so that gravity doesn't pull those ornaments that are still, drying off with the glue. Okay, and here's the finished product, you guys. So it took a total of 6 boxes of ornaments. We used 1 box of each color. We did start with 2 of the navies, and I think in the end, 1 box was enough, depending on how thick and luscious you want it to be. So I think we worked in the perfect amount, because you still can see that snowy base that we also got from Walmart. It's a 24-inch flocked wreath base for less than $10. So we'll start up here. We have our beautiful navy cobalt that slowly transitions to this icy blue, which I think is perfect for winter, which then makes its way to our seafoam green or mint green down here. And this green also contains a few gold ornaments. So I thought the perfect color next would be the gold, which we can kind of act as though it's yellow. So after the gold, we have one of my favorite colors, the rose gold, which has been very trendy for the last couple of years. And then lastly, we have our purple. One of my favorite things on this design too are those snowy ornaments. Each container came with a few of them that kind of matches the color scheme. So thank you all so very much for watching. This is Nick Kretikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and you're watching me on Home Talk. Happy holidays, everyone.